Hello, as many of you know if you follow me on Facebook or Twitter, I went to Star Wars Celebration in Anaheim, California this past week, and it was amazing. But it was also a learning experience, which is why I decided to make this video to impart this knowledge onto you. Here are the 200 things I learned at Star Wars Celebration. I didn't think I could be any more excited for The Force Awakens. I am so much more excited for The Force Awakens. Make sure to bring your ID, debit and credit cards, cash money. Not all booths take card. The cell reception in the convention center is not really that great, and that could drain your cell phone battery, especially if you're playing games in line. To save phone battery, bring a camera. Take lots of pictures. You will never take enough pictures. There were so many Boba Fett costumes. There were so many Stormtrooper costumes. But if you put a spin on a classic costume, brilliant. If you want to have your picture taken a lot, do a mashup cosplay. I saw Dead Mouse Stormtrooper, Princess Vader, Wolverine Stormtrooper with the bone claws, bright pink Chewbacca. I saw a Little Mermaid Slave Leia, Slave Ariel, steampunk Darth Vader. Star Wars Celebration is kid-friendly, and it's even more fun if you dress your kid up as Princess Leia, or Han Solo, or an Ewok, or a Wookiee, or a Rebel X-Wing pilot. Those are all costumes that I saw on kids under the age of 3. People will ask to take their pictures, because that is adorable. Convention food, by definition, is expensive. But there were food trucks. Lots and lots of food trucks. Gourmet food trucks. And food truck food is delicious. But if you own the food truck and you name your food the Bantha Burger, Wampa Waffles, Wookiee Cookies, Greedos Burritos, Han Burgers, you're more likely to have a huge line for your truck at a Star Wars convention. Having Disney release the trailer for The Force Awakens on Thursday morning was very smart. It gave me something to talk about with the people in line. Lines are everywhere. Plan for lines. Die-hard Star Wars fans are accustomed to lines. And talk to the people in line. You already have one huge interest in common with 99% of the people there. Wear comfortable shoes. You will be standing a lot. Wear layers. It's California, but the weather fluctuated a lot while I was there. And if you get too hot, you can always ditch your layers in a backpack. Wear a backpack. You want to bring your own food? Backpack. You want to plan to get things signed? Backpack. Are you planning on buying anything at all? Of course you are. Backpack. Stay hydrated. Keep filling up a water bottle all throughout the day, which you can keep in your backpack. Charge all of your electronics the night beforehand. Bring a cell phone charger to the convention. If you bring a surge protector with multiple outlets, it will make you a king. Or a lord. A Jedi. It'll make you a Jedi. There was Wi-Fi at the convention center, but it was very finicky Wi-Fi. Thousands of people were using the Wi-Fi all at one time. Make a vague, flexible schedule of the things you want to do. Prepare to be disappointed if a line is too long, or if a panel fills up before you can get inside. But if you're flexible with your planning, you can have backup plans. But if there's something you need to see or watch, prioritize it. Get in the line early and prepare to wait a long time. Shop smart. If you see something you want and you've never really seen it before, buy it right when you see it. Sure, you can shop around at other booths, but cool things at good prices do not last long at these things. If you're wanting a con exclusive, get in line as early as you possibly can. If you want to get autographs, celebrity photographs, or purchase any exclusives, try to get them done at the very, very beginning of the day on the first day of the con. That way you have more days to just enjoy the rest of the convention. There are movie replica scenes set up everywhere. You want to pose with a life-size Jabba? Sit in the Falcon and play Jajarek? Pose in a Bacta tank? Hang out with Jawas dismantling droids? You can stand in line and have your picture taken in those scenes. They're rebuilt all around you. If you're from out of town, public transportation is your most reliable form of transportation. It's also probably the cheapest, and you don't have to pay for parking. But do your research ahead of time. If you need a personal shuttle, schedule it well ahead of time. Double check your pickup drop-off addresses. Triple check them. I'm speaking from experience. Make sure you are on time for your shuttle pickup. If you miss one shuttle, it could screw up your entire day. Again, I'm speaking from experience. Star Wars Celebration is a worldwide traveling event. Why are people so obsessed with Kylo Ren? I heard some people at the convention say that Kylo Ren is their favorite Star Wars villain. How do they know that? The movie isn't out yet. People get attached to characters in movies that they've never seen. I saw Billy D. Williams talk at his panel and he's still smooth. I also realized a lot of young people don't know who Billy D. Williams is, which is sad. I mean, I haven't seen all of his films, but he's Lando, man. Come on. Lando. Also, don't make a joke if you get the chance to ask Billy D. Williams a question, or he'll make a face like this. And we don't want to waste Lando's time. But I am so glad somebody asked him a question about Colt 45. There was a Star Wars tattoo pavilion with licensed Lucasfilm tattoo artists. So many people were getting tattoos done at this convention. There were over 45 tattoo artists constantly tattooing people the entire 4 days. In the middle of the convention, I heard a guy ask the organizer if he could, you know, schedule to get a tattoo, and the organizer said they were all fill up at 200 people. 200 people got permanent ink at that convention. That is so cool. The Rebel Legion, good guys doing good. The 501st Legion, Vader's Fist, bad guys doing good. You have to create an authentic costume yourself. You have to document the progress of you building it. It has to be screen accurate, and then you apply to be in whichever group you decided to build a costume for. Hardcore cosplay. Cosplay ain't no game. But they really are amazing organizations. Links down below for more information on the 501st and the Rebel Legion. Walking around the convention, every 30 minutes or so, I'd hear somebody's phone and be like, they're listening to the new trailer for The Force Awakens. And then I'd rewatch the trailer for The Force Awakens. Downtown Disney is right next to the convention center, and it is pretty awesome. And J. Scott Campbell has a legion of fans no matter what the situation. He didn't go to Star Wars Celebration, but he had a signing 2 blocks away at Downtown Disney for 2 hours, and hundreds of people showed up. He was unveiling new Star Wars artwork to sell at a shop in Downtown Disney. A lot of the people in line around me didn't really follow J. Scott Campbell's work, but they were huge Star Wars fans. Also, J. Scott Campbell is a super nice guy. He and I talked for a bit when I told him where I worked. Yeah, he's friends with my boss. If I had the artwork, I'd show you right now, but it's about this big, and because it was so big, I shipped it back to myself. Oh, that's a good one. If you buy a big souvenir, ship it back to yourself. Ewoks aren't as widely hated as I thought they were. Maybe the prequels helped the Ewok cred. Jar Jar sure didn't do any favors for himself with likability. There were not as many Darth Vader cosplays as I thought there were going to be, but there was a Jackson. And there were 3 people that dressed up as Grand Admiral Thrawn, which proves that even though it's considered non-canon, fans still care a great deal about the extended universe. If you don't know who those characters are, just Google them. I know, my nerd is showing. The Star Wars Battlefront trailer looks amazing. And is that the same Star Destroyer from the Force Awakens trailer? Yeah. And is that Boba Fett after Return of the Jedi? That means that he survived the Sarlacc pit. Or somebody just found his costume and dressed like him? I don't know. Star Wars Rogue One looks like it could be a lot of fun. It will feature no Jedi Knights whatsoever, which is something that no Star Wars movie has ever done. The Season 2 trailer for Star Wars Rebels makes me want to start watching Rebels now. I mean, I should probably watch Clone Wars first. Maybe, I guess. Probably. Even close up, the new troopers look like they're wearing shades. And now that I've said that, you won't be able to unsee it. Just like how I overheard the guy telling that to his buddy in line, I can't unsee it. Thanks, guy. The Star Wars collectible cans from Episode 1 still are not worth anything at all. If you're at a convention and you see someone just standing around dressed in costume, ask to take their picture. You will make them so happy. 99% of us cosplayers love the attention and the photographs. Cosplayers usually put a lot of work into their costume, and they love feeling that the appreciation is reciprocated. There was this little Jedi kid, and I asked him and his mom if I could take a picture of him, because he had this really cool robe and this awesome lightsaber, and his mom was like, oh yeah, sure, go pose, take a picture. But instead of posing, he was like, he was so happy that somebody asked to take his picture. But no matter how awesome the costume is, do not ask to take their picture if they are sitting down, or eating, or on the phone, or looking like they're in a hurry. Try to find them later and ask for a picture. That's just being polite. And do not shame cosplayers for lack of details on their cosplay, or their body size, or anything. As I said before, there are lots of lines everywhere, and most people politely ask to cut through the line to get to another place. But some people just barge through other people to get through. And that's rude. Those people are big jerks. And some people don't understand how lines work. Some people will always try to cut the line or meet up with their friends. Holding a spot for your friend when your friend wasn't originally there is not allowed. And some people are too privileged to stand in line. There was a guy that was in the Celebration store checkout line, and the checkout line had like 50 to 80 people ahead of where we were, and so he was maybe like 10 people ahead of me, but he kept turning around to the people behind him, and he's like, I only want to get this book. I don't understand why I need to stand in line to get this book. It's not like I'm buying any of this other stuff. Why do I have to stand in line to get this book? And he checked his watch, and he's like, oh, I should be in line for a panel right now. Oh, why do I need to stand in line for this book? If you want to pay for a thing, like everyone else, you need to stand in line to pay for your thing. like everyone else. There is no special line treatment. Unless you're handicapped, you can get a pass for that. And unless you paid extra for special Jedi treatment, which, yes, is a real thing. It's a pass that you can pay extra for to get into, like, quicker lines, so you don't have to wait in line with everybody else. But I feel like if I had it, I would actually act like a Jedi. Be like, you don't need me to wait in this long line. Love blossoms at Star Wars Celebration. There was a couple that got engaged at the con. Aww. Do not argue with any convention staff. They know more about what's going on behind the scenes than you do. And even though it may seem like they're kind of unorganized sometimes, they are just there to help. Try to get enough sleep to function the next day. And please, 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 shower at least once a day, and wear deodorant, and brush your teeth. You'll be in close proximity with other people, and if you smell, they can tell. Don't assume that everyone needs to know every single little Star Wars fact in order to be a fan of Star Wars. Like that Wookiees were originally intended to help the rebels on Endor in Return of the Jedi. George Lucas opted for a smaller furry animal, thus the Ewoks. Strangely enough, the word Ewok is not even mentioned anywhere in the film. Or that Jackson character that I mentioned earlier is spelled Jaxxon. And that he's basically a gigantic humanoid space bunny. Look him up, seriously. Don't put people down for not knowing everything. That's uncool. What is cool, however, is that if you're in cosplay, if you brush up on facts about your character, accents, backstory, just in case anybody asks you any questions, you'll be able to have answers. I mean, personally, I feel like you should at least know about your character if you're spending all this time and money to dress up as said character. Glomping is a thing that I had never heard of before this convention. It's like tackling or hugging someone, and that someone is usually in costume. Don't do that, or at least ask permission first. Most movie reveals will be online within the half hour. The location for Star Wars Celebration changes almost every single year. Just like how next year Star Wars Celebration is in London. It's only 15 months away! Star Wars Celebration has a HandyDandy app that helps with your scheduling. Also, it's neat to follow them on Twitter during the con. They retweet a lot of cool stuff. Between all the cosplay, the fans, the news, the sheer size of the convention, there was this amazing energy the entire 4 days. Which is why Star Wars Celebration was hands down the best convention I've ever been to. I had so much fun. Wow, that was a long video. Thank you so much for watching to the end. If you want to see all of the hundreds of pictures that I took during the convention, I have a link down below to a photo set on my website, which unfortunately still looks like a website out of the 90s, but I'm working on it. I'm uploading all the photos that I took, most of the things that I talked about in this video. I have photo evidence of the Wolverine Stormtrooper. Oh my gosh, the bone claws is so cool. But yeah, that's all I got. Tapped out at 200. So, let me know down below what you think about the future of the Star Wars universe. Anything. Video games, Rogue One, Force Awakens, arguments about the crossblade lightsaber, I don't care. Fill the comment section down below with Star Wars. Just fill it up. Alright, I will see you guys later. Bye. Why are people so obsessed with Kylo Ren? Kylo Ren. Oh goodness.